Recovered proceeds of crime by the agency are being brought back into the economy to fund critical social investment programs, including the students' loan and consumer credit schemes.
Countering corruption, 7,000 convictions, 500 billion naira in 2 years. The FCC success story. 206,000 driver licenses beg for collection at Road Safety Office. Commission goes digital, contactless in operations.
Our printing facility has been upgraded to print an average of 15,000 driver's licenses daily.
Free Nnamdi Kanu protest and the agony of the common man. Hello and thanks for tuning to the Network News on NTA. I'm Naja'atu Tijani. Hingino John Adams joins us later from Lagos, while Musa Abubakar and Ayo Makinde in Abuja will give us business and sports highlights. Musa?
National Bureau of Statistics recommits to data-driven governance.
Thank you, Musa. Ayo, what's happening in the world of sports?
Well, Super Falcons are back in camp for qualification ahead of WAFCON 2026, which also serves as qualifiers for 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup.
Now, we look forward to the details, but remember that this broadcast is being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live. Don't worry about missing any part of the bulletin, as you can watch the replay on our YouTube channel. Our other social media handles are also displayed on the screen. And now the news in detail. The federal government is targeting the creation of at least 20,000 jobs annually through the launch of the second phase of the Nigerian Jubilee Fellows Program. It is to connect high potential graduates with real-world work experience, training and mentorship. Vice President Kashim Shettima, ahead of the official launch, inaugurated the project steering committee with a charge to members to make sure the program is inclusive. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
A high-level policy dialogue on job creation with the theme From Skills to Job and Enterprises, driving youth employment and entrepreneurship in key economic sectors. The Nigeria Jubilee Fellows Program, a flagship initiative of the federal government, being coordinated by the Office of the Vice President, is implemented by the United Nations Development Program and funded by the European Union.
In scaling NJFE 2.0, inclusivity must remain at the heart of our design. And our young people are not a homogeneous group. They live in different realities across regions, genders, and social backgrounds. We must ensure that this opportunity reaches every corner of the country.
And we believe very much in the power of this program to transform the lives of young Nigerians, and we want to see it grow. And Your Excellency, we look very much to your continued support in the actualization of the full mandate of the project.
Launched in 2022 to bridge the gap between skills, jobs, and enterprise, the program has already empowered over 14,000 young Nigerians through the 12-month paid fellowships that build experience, confidence, and lasting career opportunities.
It shows that this administration is not only focused on policy, it's focused on impact. Through NJFP 2.0, we are demonstrating how government-led programs can translate into real opportunities for decent work and enterprise creation for young Nigerians.
The Nigeria Jubilee Fellows Program is one of the several opportunities created by the government of President Tinubu to turn skills into jobs, ideas into enterprises, and hope into results. From the State House, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
Frivolous appeals, alleged intimidation of judges, and judgments delivered on grounds of technicalities are some of the challenges impeding the war against corruption in Nigeria. President Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, stated this while declaring open the 7th Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and the National Judicial Institute Capacity Building Workshop for judicial officers. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila again reports.
This annual event, 7th in the series, is a meeting of two reliable partners, expected to exchange ideas to ensure the prevention of corruption and administration of justice to build public trust in governance with the theme enhancing justice in the fight against economic and financial crimes.
The Commission is disturbed by the trend in which some judges of state high courts issue orders to apprehend the powers of the Commission to investigate money laundering cases, even though it is clearly established that those matters are outside their purview. More worrisome is the fact that most of those decisions are made ex parte. Even where the Commission appeals, there are no restraints in making contempt decisions against it.
We must remain proactive and adaptive, ensuring that the law continues to keep pace with the innovations that criminals exploit. The judiciary remains the last line of defense against impunity. The fight against economic and financial crimes cannot succeed if the judiciary falters. Each ruling, each judgment carries implications that extend far beyond the courtroom. They either strengthen or weaken the people's faith in the capacity of the law to hold all persons accountable regardless of status, power, or privilege.
Fighting corruption requires political will and the three arms of government to create strong fiscal institutions that will promote integrity and accountability for economic growth.
As an administration, we have prioritized public accountability by strengthening the anti-corruption agencies and according them the needed independence to execute their statutory mandates. This enabling environment is evident in the impact that has been made in the last 2 years. The EFCC, for example, has recorded over 7,000 convictions in the first 2 years of the present administration and recovered assets in excess of 500 billion naira. Recovered proceeds of crime by the agency are being plugged back into the economy to fund critical social investment programs, including the students' loan and consumer credit schemes.
The war against corruption demands a trinity of virtue: an independent judiciary, a disciplined enforcement community, and a vigilant citizenry. Where these three stand united, no portraits of corruption can stand.
At the end of this engagement, issues of misuse of security votes, justice administration, and other collective actions in winning the war against economic and financial crimes in Nigeria is expected to be addressed. In Abuja, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
Earlier on, Abuja, the nation's capital city, experienced heavy traffic gridlock this Monday, making it difficult for commuters coming into the city centre from various axes to get to their offices or places of business. Due to measures taken by security agencies to prevent the scheduled protest from being hijacked as well as to protect lives and property. Recall that organisers of the protest insisted on the street march in spite of police warning and a court order restraining them from staging the protest within the 3-arm zone. Joining us live to talk more on the situation in the FCT this Monday morning is the Force Public Relations Officer, Chief Superintendent of Police, Benjamin Hunde. Thank you for joining us on the Network News.
Thank you for having me on the show tonight.
Now, what's your assessment of the situation this morning, the protest and police action?
Thank you very much. If I'm allowed to assess our own performance, I would say it was a good outing. We came through for Nigerians, and we delivered on our mandates to ensure the protection of life and property and maintenance of law and order. Yeah, the protesters came out and their activities caused some traffic gridlock, but we would not allow that to persist because there were many Nigerians who wanted to go about their lawful duties and they found it difficult to move around. So we stepped in and dispersed the protesters, and Nigerians were able to move around. So by and large, I would say that it was a very good outing.
So we'll come back to the movement, but let's quickly talk about the court order. Sure, Nigerians would want to understand why police action was taken against the protesters, considering the court order says it is lawful, but not to do it in some certain areas.
Yes, thank you very much. The courts and the police acknowledge the fact that Nigerians have the right to express themselves, to protest, to go on peaceful procession. But in this particular instance, to avoid breakdown of law and order, also learning from past experiences, we approached the court, the police approached the court to restrain and restrict the protesters from going to certain areas, which the court granted. And we also made it clear in our statement on Saturday that we're going to enforce that court order, and we want protesters not to go to the mentioned areas. I'm also warning that anybody found in these areas would actually be arrested, investigated, and prosecuted. And sadly, some of these protesters actually moved into these areas this morning, and we had no choice. Despite several warnings to them this morning, we had no choice but to get them arrested. And right now, they're in our custody. And at the conclusion of our investigation, which should be in a couple of hours, they will be ready for prosecution tomorrow morning.
Now, because of this whole situation, some feel that the police should have announced to the public alternative routes to make movement easy for commuters coming into the city, because there was some sort of disruption. So what's your response to that? Well, thank you very much. We barricaded some parts of the road because of the protest, but we made alternative routes available. So it didn't matter that some commuters did not know that there were barricades in front. The moment they got to that barricade, there were signs there to show that, oh, you could turn left or you could turn right. So there was no disruption whatsoever. People had alternative routes to use. The only disruption came from the protesters, which was promptly attended to. Now, are there strategic measures being put in place for situations like this in future? Oh, yes. And one of the strategic measures we used in this particular instance was to approach the courts to get an order restricting them from these areas. In future, too, we'll do everything legally possible to deliver on our mandate of ensuring protection of life and property, maintaining law and order. If it requires getting a court order, then we would. If it requires diverting traffic, then we would. If it also requires, making statements, talking to Nigerians before the D-Day, like we did on Saturday, definitely we would. Now, what's your message to the public on protests? Oh, well, we acknowledge that Nigerians have the right to protest, but would also would like to prevail on Nigerians to do or carry out their protests peacefully without infringing on the rights of other Nigerians. Your protest should not stop other Nigerians from enjoying their right to freedom of movement. People could be on their way to the hospital. People could be on their way for important interviews. So protest if you would like to, but please do it within the ambit of the law. Thank you very much for sharing this insight. Thank you very much. I've been speaking with Force Public Relations Officer, CSP Benjamin Hunding, on the protest this morning and the aftermath. The People's Republic of China has commended the Nigerian government for the successful rescue of 4 of its citizens kidnapped in Kwara State. The rescue operation, jointly carried out by the Office of the National Security Advisor, the Department of State Services, the Nigerian Army and the Nigeria Police Force, led to the safe recovery of the Chinese nationals. At the formal handover of the rescued in Abuja, Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, represented by the Consul Wang Jun, lauded the Nigerian security agencies, particularly the DSS, for swift, intelligence-led response. He also commended the service for providing first-rate medical attention to the rescued individuals at its medical facility in Abuja.
Esther, and we just appreciate for the effort about the Nigerian government. And third, I just will appreciate just to say this time all the Department of Nigeria do their best to rescue our citizens. As you know, last year, just His Excellency, the President Tinubu, just visit China. Two country leaders just reach agreement, just upgrade the two country relations. And this time, I think it's certificate the Nigerian people just do very great for the Chinese people. We are just good friends there. Just know we just if we have some problem and just we talk with the Nigerian government, they do their best.
Miners were reportedly ambushed by a gang of armed bandits on their way to a mining site in Saminaka village, Yapa West local government area of Kogi State, where they were held hostage. This is the network news on NTA. Do stay tuned for more reports in a moment. Thanks for staying tuned. We're talking Nigeria as a host, and the forthcoming World Public Relations Forum will be an opportunity to present Nigeria as a model of transformation through communication. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, made this known while revealing hosting plans for the World Public Relations Forum 2026 to hold in Abuja. Hamman Jabani reports.
The World Public Relations Forum is a biennial global event organized by Global Alliance for Public Relations and Communication Management to bring together senior public relations, academic and association leaders from around the world. The purpose to examine major issues affecting the PR profession and how the profession in turn affect the society.
And part of responsible communication is to know how to manage our challenges and our issues in the interest of our nation.
Let us carry forward the spirit of renewed hope, a hope that believes in the Nigerian story, the Nigerian voice, and the Nigerian future. Under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigeria is indeed reshaping its global image. Let this forum be remembered as the moment when Africa's largest democracy led the world in defining what it means to communicate with conscience.
The minister stressed that there is no iota of truth in the claim of a Christian genocide in Nigeria and urged media professionals to use the instrument of public relations crafted in truths and facts to reject the despicable single narratives about Nigeria. The National Assembly, traditional rulers, media chiefs and other stakeholders pledged their support to the success of the WPRF Com 2026.
I'm really impressed by what NIPR is trying to do, and we are all looking forward to this great event next year in November. And if there's anything we can do to help the NIPR to organize this grand event, please feel free to contact us to help.
Our protocol department, we are going to also ramp up all our efforts in our protocol department to ensure that this event you are putting together will give maximum support in the aviation sector.
The traditional institution in Nigeria, I assure you, my position as the coordinating chairman of this committee of National Traditional Council of Nigeria, I assure you, will give you 100% support.
I would like to congratulate the NIPR on behalf of BON and of course the NTA, and to also assure you that the bond will be with you all through this journey of hosting the world in Nigeria. And I want to say that NTA is going to be the official broadcaster of this forum.
With the theme, Responsible Communication, the clock has started clicking with the unveiling of the WPFR 2026. Registration of delegates has commenced, and the public presentation of two Baba House music ambassadors. The planning committee says it is set for the biggest, brightest and boldest voice for ethical and responsible communication in Africa and beyond. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Speaking of responsibility, the Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, says more than 206,000 driver's licenses are still lying uncollected across the country. At the launch of the 2025 Ember Month campaign in Abuja, he called on Nigerians who have completed the process to head straight to their collection centers and pick them up. Oyeyemi Ajayi reports.
The frustration of Nigerians waiting endlessly for their driver's licenses have been a regular topic in the airwaves. The Federal Safety Corps says the wait is finally coming to an end The Corps has resumed full-scale printing of the backlog of licenses, while also processing new ones for those yet to verify their details. So far, 400,000 licenses have been printed out of the 800,000 backlog nationwide.
We have activated plans to overcome perennial challenges associated with delays in obtaining the driver's license and number plates. Our printing facility has been upgraded to print an average of 15,000 driver's licenses daily.
During the 2025 Ember Month campaign launch, themed Take Responsibility for Your Safety, Stop Distracted Driving, the FRSC rolled out statistics. Between 15th December 2024 and 15th January 2025, 432 lives were lost and 2,070 people injured in 533 road crashes. Between January and September 2025, 3,433 deaths and 22,162 injuries were recorded in 6,858 crashes across the country.
And this represents a decrease in fatalities and injuries against the corresponding period in 2024, and hope that the trajectory will continue to decline to achieve the road traffic reduction for the year 2025.
The Corps also announced it will soon launch the enhanced content-length digitized driver's license process, which will eradicate temporary driver's license to make collection of the document immediately after data capturing on the same day. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Still talking transportation, the chairman and CEO of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, Professor Abdullahi Salih Usman, has inaugurated the Aviation Monitoring Committee for the 2026 Hajj. The chairman charges the committee to function as diligent gatekeepers entrusted with the critical mandate of undertaking transparent and impartial monitoring of all aviation matters. Professor Usman makes it clear that the committee is a functional, non-decorative body reflecting the Commission's zero tolerance for failure and its core commitment to pilgrim welfare. He explains that the spiritual exercise being facilitated by the Nigerian government is a sacred trust, emphasizing that the Commission has recorded steady improvement in airlift logistics and aviation remains the most sensitive and visible component of Hajj operations. The Commissioner of Operations and Licensing, Prince Anofio Lariwaju Ilegushi, thanks the chairman for the confidence reposed in the committee, pledging the team's total commitment to its mandate. The committee's terms of reference, amongst other things, include reviewing and evaluating all documents submitted by applicant airlines and cargo carriers for the 2026 Hajj. Once again, Nigeria, the giant of Africa, charts a bold new course, achieving a groundbreaking first in aviation education. In a stride toward innovation and leadership on the African continent, the nation has unveiled its first ever transformative milestone, a private aeronautics university. Transport correspondent Ladi Bala reports.
The sky over Nigeria is open. It marks the beginning of a new era of possibilities, transformation in the aerospace and aviation industry.
The first private aeronautics university in Africa has been unveiled, Isaac Balami University of Aeronautics and Management. Stakeholders who hailed this historic achievement describe it as a major leap, expressing optimism for a thriving and expansive aviation ecosystem. Located in Lagos, the university is set to begin academic activities by January 2026, offering 8 specialized courses aimed at building the next generation of aerospace professionals.
It's actually the first in Africa. It's not only in the public and private sector, because what he's doing combines 2, in fact 3 of the critical sectors in the aviation ecosystem. In fact, government has not been able to do what he's doing, because we have the flying school in Zaria, and we have the African Aviation and Aerospace University, 2 different. And then we're also clamoring for MROs, 3 different sectors, 2 different critical sectors within our aviation ecosystem. The university combines the whole of the 3.
So we're coming in to bridge the gap. A vacuum has been created. Over
29,000 pilots and 31,000 aircraft engineers will be required minimum in the next 10 years.
We're recruiting our staff primarily from within the country, and we'll have a few from overseas to augment what we have.
So we are working together with the university to access global scholarship to encourage young persons, especially young women in STEMs.
The unveiling of the first private aeronautics university in Africa. The sky is no longer the limit for the aviation sector, but the beginning of possibilities. In Abuja, Ladibala, NTA News.
On the health scene, the wife of Borno State Governor Dr. Falmata Babagana Umar Zulum wants parents and guardians to present their children for the free integrated life-saving immunization programs in the state. Umar Jimbarima reports.
The flagged-off ceremony of the integrated vaccine campaign by the Borno State government in collaboration with NPHCDA, UNICEF, WHO and other partners targeted measles, rubella, human papilloma virus, polio and other routine immunizations across the state. Wife of the Borno State Governor, Falmata Babagana Umar Zulum, reiterated the government's unwavering commitment to prioritizing healthcare, emphasizing that every citizen deserves access to free quality healthcare service.
The state government has remained fully committed to rebuilding the health system, improving maternal and child health, and ensuring that no community and no child is left.
97 newborns would have been declared dead previously before SBBC, but with the equipments we have used in resuscitation, we have been able to revive 97 newborns, and their mothers were happily taken them home.
Development partners including UNICEF, WHO and NPHCDA reaffirmed their dedication to supporting the Borno State government in advancing healthcare delivery, pledging continued collaboration to transform Borno into a model state with a resilient and inclusive health system in Maiduguri. Umar Jimbarima, NTA News.
The Presidential Initiative on Unlocking the Healthcare Value Chain, PVAC, has visited local pharmaceutical companies in Lagos State, witnessing firsthand the transformative impact of the federal government's executive order on the industry. Dr. Abdul Mukhtar, National Coordinator of PVAC, led the delegation to a pioneering local pharmaceutical company which has successfully leveraged the policy to expand its operations, create new jobs and increase revenue.
You know, the company told us that they have been actually taking advantage of the executive order. We were there to see where things are and whether they have any challenges. They told me they've actually, their revenues have actually increased, their profitability has increased by about 10% just by implementing and taking advantage of the executive order. Again, really massive, very world-class facilities for distribution, for storage, and they have 10 different depots. They told us about their plan. But more importantly, also, we discussed how they can partner with Medical.
I think at a point, we're not able to manufacture paracetamol tablets and the tetracycline capsules. Why? Because the price of those that are being imported are so much cheaper than so much cheaper than our running cost, as in cost of manufacturing. So we were not producing. But now we can produce everything because most of them are falling under the ceiling list.
The visit to Lagos follows a similar engagement with pharmaceutical companies in Kano State in May 2025, underscoring PVAC's commitment to engaging with local manufacturers, understanding their challenges, and driving growth and development in the healthcare industry. It's time now to join Hingino, who is standing by in Lagos with more updates. Hingino.
And welcome to Lagos. LifeMate Furniture has assured its teeming customers and lovers of good furniture across the country of always meeting their demands and taste. This assurance was given at the official opening of LifeMate's new showroom in Lekki, Lagos. Bolaji Akim reports.
This new all-house customized showroom is designed for customers' delight
where they can purchase beautiful and high-quality furniture for various sections of their houses, like the living room, bedroom, kitchen, dining area, and many more. Management of the company say, apart from meeting customers' satisfaction, that New Life Made Furniture showroom will take service delivery closer to its numerous customers and save residents of the axis from the stress of driving long distance to access all the goodies Life Made offers.
Life Made already snacking more than 23 years. So like region, before we have many customers from now is moving to this area to live. So sometimes my customer want we open another showroom and do service for them. That's why.
Very fast with delivery. Secondly, our products are very good and it can last you as far as you maintain it very well. It can meet the test of time. So our price is very fair. It's pocket friendly.
The customers appreciate opening of the new showroom as well as quality after sales service of the company.
It lasts long. At least for 3 years now, I've been buying from here now. There's no complaints whatsoever.
I know that they are very sturdy. What I mean by sturdy is you can't just sit on it and it will collapse. The wood is really sturdy, and then the finishing is beautiful.
The new showroom is located at Block 2, Plot 4 along Lekki Expressway, Abuja. Guests and customers who came to witness the opening of the new showroom were also treated to nice music and meals. In Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
That's all from Lagos. More reports after the break.
The federal government has officially launched the Customs Verification Management System, a major digital innovation aimed at advancing the Nigeria Customs Service towards a fully automated and intelligent customs administration. The CVMS is designed as a comprehensive digital platform to enhance the verification of customs documents, ensure the authenticity of clearance procedures, and promote greater integrity and transparency at all levels of operation. It will reduce and minimize manual processing errors and accelerate trade facilitation. This initiative highlights the government's commitment to leveraging technology to boost revenue generation, enforce compliance, and strengthen national security through efficient
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to the STV channel 251, GoTV channel. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Resources and strengthen border protection. At a public presentation of literature on corruption in Nigeria's public sector and related works, stakeholders reiterated that building a future grounded in integrity is not only possible but essential for national renewal.
That you will sign and undertake a bond that if your brother or your sister commits financial crime, you will not be in a position to help or to support.
There's a tendency to be overcritical about the government, about governance, about corruption, and so forth. But he's coming up with very profound recommendations.
More about competence, than to bring efficiency measures to not only reduce costs, is to produce better deliverables.
Who are the victim of corruption in the public sector, but also those who are beneficiaries of the fruits of corruption.
And now to capital market. Nigeria's equities market sustained its positive momentum, closing the day on a bullish note as investors took fresh position in key blue chip stocks. At the close of trading, the all-share index advanced to 149,940.81 points, reflecting growing investor confidence in the market's resilience. Market activity was robust, with 415.3 million shares traded in 31,522 deals, representing a total market value of about 27.16 billion naira. The market's equity capitalization also appreciated, settling at 95.17 trillion naira, driven by gains in the banking, industrial and consumer goods sectors. Union D Consult topped the gainers chart with a 10% rise to 8 naira 80 kobo per share, followed by Unicell Interlinked, Sovereign Trust Insurance and Boa Cement. On the flip side, Jubilee led the losers with 9.94% drop to 8 naira 6 kobo per share, while Thomas White Nigeria fell by 9.63%, Dar Communications by 7.14%, and Universal Insurance by 5%. That's businesses. The news continues after the break.
President Bola Tinubu congratulates Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, influential politician and former governor, Kano State, on his birthday on October 21, 2025. President Tinubu rejoices with Kwankwaso's family, friends and political associates as they mark this special day, acknowledging Kwankwaso's invaluable services to the country in various leadership positions. The president affirms that the senator's growing influence in the north, particularly in Kano State, highlights his pro-people politics. He wishes him good health and many more years of impactful service to the nation. It's time now to join Sports Update with Ayo Makinde. Ayo, we're starting with the Super Falcons, aren't we?
Absolutely correct, Naja'atu. Well, that's because they've commenced preparations for the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON qualifying match against Benin Republic, with 9 players in camp before the full squad arrives in Lomé, Togo. Head coach Justin Madugu conducted their initial training session earlier this evening as they prepare for their match against Benin at Stade de Kigwe. 13 additional players, including African Player of the Year nominees Esther Okoronko and Captain Rashidat Ajibade, are in camp at the moment. Nigeria, who have won the championship 10 times, will face Benin Republic in the first leg of the qualifier on Thursday, while the second leg will take place at the Moshood Abiola Sports Arena in Abeokuta next week, Tuesday. Now, these two matches will determine Nigeria's qualification for the 2026 WAFCON in Morocco, which also serves as Africa's qualifying tournament for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil. To their male counterparts, the Nigeria Football Federation has cancelled upcoming friendly matches against Venezuela and Colombia next month due to Super Eagles' preparation for their crucial 2026 FIFA World Cup playoffs in Morocco. The three-time African champions will compete in a four-nation playoff, which will determine their chances of participating in the Mundial slated for United States, Canada and Mexico. The friendlies against Venezuela on November 14 and Colombia on November 18 were part of their preparation for the 2025 AFCON tournament in Morocco before the Super Eagles dropped off to the playoffs category. Nigeria will play Gabon on November 13 before the final of the playoffs on November 16. And that's your sports, but just a quick reminder that the UEFA Champions League is back on Tuesday and Wednesday with some mouth-watering matches. Of course, fixtures on your screen. But for now, let's go back to Naja'atu for the rest of the news.
Thank you, Ayo. Actually, there's no more news at this point. We're concluding the network news on NTA. Thanks for being a part of it. I'm Naja'atu Tijani on behalf of the crew, wishing you an excellent rest of the week.